The wind blew and the grass and flowers danced. A figure walked up a small hill pulling along a cart. The person stopped and turned to look at a tree. It had been a week since the incident and the body had rotted. Flies hover above the black and blue body as the figure lifts it and put it on its cart. The person was about to walk away when something fell to the ground. The cart puller looked down to see a book. He picked it up and turned the pages. The dead woman seems to have documented her experience. The wind once more blew again and the person sat down. He could catch a break for a while. He flipped the book and came to the first entry. I am panicking. This thing that ate my neighbors are now searching for me. My thoughts are all over the place. I am scared. If I write any louder than this, then they will get me. Oh God. Oh please, send help. I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep, but I slept for 7 hours. I just hope they won't be able to hear me snore. I'm hungry now. What will I do about food? Will the creatures hear me turn on the stove? Will they smell the instant noodle if I cook it? Are they still out there? I can hear them. Its footsteps are distant. I'm not taking any chances. I'll just drink water. Besides, I have quite the fat stored in me. I'll be able to wait out for 3 days or so. 3 days. That is too long. Will there be help? Will I be helped? Will I survive? I miss my parents. I can't sleep. It's hot for autumn. I can't even open my window. I can't even turn on any appliances. My phone died a few hours ago. The mold on my ceiling from the water damage looks interesting. I can see a family smiling. I miss my family. I was overtaken by stupidity and my IQ of 10. I have watched a lot of apocalyptic movies. I think I was inspired by the survivors of the movies that I decided to venture out. I had my bag packed, dressed appropriately, and held a hammer in my hand. Before pushing the door, I stopped and thought for a minute. I breathed in and crossed the threshold. There were no creatures in sight. I planned to escape the building. On the ground floor, I thought I had passed the worst when the sound of crunching caught my attention. Right in front of me was a group of creatures munching on a dead body. I froze. I thought I could do it. All I had to do was swing the hammer in my hand. That would be enough to kill them. But I was not thinking. One of the creatures sniffed the air and took steps towards me. I was sure I wasn't going to make any sound, but the creature let out a gargle and its vile breath hit me. I thought that was the end. The door on the side opened. A hand grabbed me and pulled me in. I only came out of my frozen stupor when the man yelled at me as the creatures banged against the door. Immediately getting into action, I rammed my body against the door, successfully locking it. That'll do for now. The man panted and fell to the ground. The man was knocked out cold, so I put a cover over him. After making sure the creatures wouldn't disturb us, sat down and pulled out this book. That was half an hour ago. As I am here finishing the entry, the man next to me steers. Guess I'll make dinner. God, it's great to have some company. The man's name is Mike. The creatures attacked them while they were out camping, and they found themselves here. But due to some miscommunication, one of them walked out, but a creature on the other side surprised him and pounced on him. As the rest of his friends rushed to help, Mike locked them all out and barricaded himself in the room. The creatures outside were his friends. I could help you leave, Mike had said as he showed me a bite mark. This guarantees my death. He was adamant that I survive this. He says that he could cross over knowing he helped someone. Mike had found a room in the deep inner part of the building where there were a lot of strings leading out. Mike also said that I have to move fast. I am nervous, but I have to move. Mike's a nice guy. If possible, one day I'd like to go camping with him. Mike sacrificed himself. I ran while the creatures feasted on him. On seeing the door, I flung it open and immediately slammed my body against the door, locking it just in time as my adversaries got to me. I breathed and slumped on the ground. How long can I go on? Mike said rescuers are coming. I just have to make it out of here. Mike was not kidding when he said there were lots of strings all around. There were openings all around, and the red wool strings came and went everywhere. As my heart slowed, I could hear low voices. They were mumblings. The strings were vibrating. I decided my luck on the one that vibrated the most and followed it out. The air was fresh here. Finally, I was free. Before my body gives out. A crowd of people approached me. All of them were dressed head to toe in white robes. I tried to shout for help, but even that wouldn't happen. The closer they came, I saw their features and fear enveloped me. They had 3 holes on their face. Their 2 eyes were blinking independently from each other. They stretched out their bony, leathered hands at me. I froze in fear. They lifted me and they carried me along with them. The march went on. All the while I was shivering in fear, my heart was beating wildly and I was squeaking. They stopped. I was stuck looking at the ceiling made of human body parts, all parts moving and squirming right above me. All I knew was that one of the faces on the ceiling opened its mouth and a long gooey green substance slithered out and shoved its way into my mouth. I couldn't breathe. Tears, saliva, and snot traveled down my face. My mouth hurts as it is forcibly stretched. I want to throw up, but I can't. My abdomen grew, stretching my skin and filling me with unbearable weight and pain. Then a shot of pain wrenched my entire lower body. The weight crawled out of me. I couldn't even breathe properly then. There were pained growls, screams, and shouts. I am under the sun. Muscle memory made me write this entry. Mother and I are one. The cart puller puffed a smoke and resumed his duty. Junkies.